The night came on the canyon as well as the village and brings sadness along with it. The village chief and the old man ran towards the entrance of the village. They were in a panic. As soon as they reached the entrance of the village, their panic converted into pain. An endless pain. There they saw the dead body of Shaoqing. The old man hold her in his arms, cried his heart out. Was no pain as bigger as the loss of children. The red fox bring the dead body of the girl to the village. The red fox can understand the pain of the old man of losing the loved one. The willow tree was thanking all his friends helping him to avenge the girls, the red fox, the golden monkey, the wind wolves, the crane, the black cow and the peregrine falcons. They all help him to fulfill his desire to avenge the girls. The tree gave them the life essence as a gift and reward for their help, and told him that the life essence was the reason of the birth of the evil snake and the brutality of the snake they have faced till now, because the snake wanted this life essence from the tree. The tree said to his friends that this life essence will be of great benefit to all of them, and treat it as a send-off wine. The three gave the life essence to the black cow first, saying that in the future if any of them wanted to leave him they were free to go where they want. Then he gave the life essence to the crane, and then to the wind wolves, and then to the golden monkey, and all others. As soon as they drank the life essence they started to evolve to the next level. The tree was amazed and happy, watched them all grow stronger. The black cow evolved and his status window informed that he was a mutant bison of level 3 entry, having the lifespan of 420 years, an innate talent of crescent crash. It was a sharp and scary weapon that is more than enough to tear the enemy, and the special skill of it was the ground trample. The frightening strength of its front limbs is enough to shake the ground. The mutant wind wolf evolved to the entry level of 5 with the lifespan of 520 years. And their innate talent was the power of wind. That tree was surprised to watch the changed forms and better forms of his friends. The tree was praising the new form of his friends as they become more beautiful and handsome. Furthermore, although the mutant bison was only a level 3, it possessed both the special skill and the innate talent. That tree was surprised that even the red fox has only one special skill and the falcons have only one innate talent. The trees said them he was curious about their future growth and their future form, and he was excited to know how would they look when they will evolve to a higher level. The 4 wind wolves were able to awaken the power of wind. They were also looking very handsome after they evolved. The tree was thinking that in the spiritual energy era it was normal for the creatures to have elemental powers, and that the humans should be similar. 2. The tree said his power to produce thick fog is also similar to the elemental power. The thick fog was emitted from the leaves just like he can breathe carbon dioxide and oxygen. Hallucination is the secretion of special substances that affects the nerve of creatures. After that he notices the golden monkey and the pinktouge and also crane. They evolved to 1 level only and there was no obvious change in them. After listening to the comments of the tree was pinktouge, and the golden monkey felt guilty about their unchanged forms. When the tree was speaking to his friends, the wind wolves bowed. The tree and the other animals nodded, and the tree was surprised by their action. All his friends, the crane and the golden monkey and everyone other, lower his head against him, accepting him as their friend and savior, and they agreed to live with him through thick and thin. The tree got emotional when he came to know that his friends were willing to stay by his side no matter what happens. They will not leave him alone. The excited golden monkey wanted to shake hands with the tree, and the tree promised them that he will make them more stronger, and he will protect them in every situation, and that they don't have to worry from now on. The tree got emotional and started crying, but this time he was crying because of happiness and gratitude, and he promised them that he will definitely won't let them die, and definitely protect them. The tree moreover said that he was not sure how much more. They were unaware of this unknown world. All the animals were listening to him seriously and comprehending his every word. The tree said there was only one path in this world, and that was to survive by being stronger and getting more power to fight the dangers. The trees said, crying, as long as they would survive they will be able to see all sorts of things and every kind of situation together. And the tree said them that he wanted to be strong so that everyone and everything could fear him. The tree knew that he was the origin of everything, every living substance. The falcons and the red fox admitted it because that tree was the reason that there was still alive. The night was very cold and the starlight was diffused in it. There was only a canyon as though it was bread. The final battle with the snake seemed to have never happened because of the calmness of night. The night was peaceful. And this time the willow tree was immersed in the deepest location within its body. silently. Savoring the change brought by the new stage, the falcons were in charge of patrolling the sky, whereas the wind wolves were the guards of the land. Their duty was to protect their friends and their land. The black cow and the crane and the golden monkey were in charge of cleaning up all the mess of the battle. The red fox was also doing the guarding, and the pink was in charge of being lazy, as he was sleeping. The willow tree captured him and said him that everyone else was working, but he was the only one sleeping, and being lazy. The tree commanded him to go and help his friends in their work and stop being lazy. He was offended by the behavior of the tree, but however he agreed to help his friends to complete their task after the tree scolded him. The tree said he can easily put him down in just a matter of seconds. The pinktuge got irritated when suddenly a yellow light appeared in the sky and the tree was attracted towards it, and his attention was diverted. The tree was confused at what was this light. He had no idea what kind of light it is. The yellow light came closer to the tree. The tree saw something in the light. There was someone in the yellow light. He tried to recognize the shadow in the yellow light. There was a girl in the yellow light, and she looked familiar, very familiar. The yellow light was coming closer to the tree and he was confused about the light. He was not getting anything. The tree was confused why the light was coming to him. The light started to climb his branch, and it was coming closer. The tree thought that the light is physically attacking him. He said to the light it won't work on him to attack like this. However, he was nervous. At last he recognized the person who was in the light. It was the shadow of a girl. A very special girl. The tree immediately recognized her as her name was Xiaoqing. The yellow light came to his trunk and then stopped further climbing. The tree was shocked as he was not expecting such thing. He was not buying anything that was happening. Then the projection display in front of him informing him a unique skill of the tree of nourishing souls. The mutated roots of the tree were the favorite place of souls. A new projection displayed and described that the mutated soul was from a human, and its innate skill was the immunity to physical attacks, and its unique skills was mental strengthening and psychic ability, so that the soul survives for a short time after death in this world, and telepathy. Somewhere there is a body that connects with this soul. The tree was surprised. He had no idea how many times this world would break his perceptions. He knew that trees can nourish souls. In his memory there was a special kind of tree that was called a soul-nourishing tree, and its branches alone can be worn on the body to nourish soul and primordial spirit, and keep the soul alive. Although he do not have an exaggerated effect like that, but he can still nourish souls. The tree folded its roots around the soul and started to nourish it. The tree said that as comparable to such a statement, he was more convinced of the other theory about the souls. Meanwhile, the soul of the girl woke up and asked several questions like where she was and who she was. It looked like her memory was lost. She was unable to remember anything from her life. She was the soul, the dead, which remained in this world and become a mutated soul. She was asking who she was, and the tree replied that it was impossible to let go of our loved ones in this world, just because her name was Xiaoqing. The tree looked at the soul for a moment, and then replied to her that she was someone who is very special to him. The soul was confused to hear this, but the tree promised her that this time he will definitely protect her, and he will not let her disappear again. In the meanwhile, the pinktuge was watching all the scene and not getting a single piece of understanding to whom the tree was talking and what was replying the tree back. He thought that the tree was out of his mind or that he was losing his mental control. In simple words, he thought that the tree was gone mad as he was talking to a girl who is already dead, and there hanging captured in the tree root. He was not able to see anyone to whom the tree was talking. He saw that the tree was talking to himself and making promise to keep someone safe, but who, he had no idea. So he thought that the tree was talking to him and expressing his kind considerations to him, so he became shy and he was blushing. Meanwhile, the soul of the girl shouted because of the headache and the unknown voices she was hearing in her head. She was hearing someone to saying that wake up, and they were all crying. The soul was confused that why she was feeling sad to hear them cry, and that who were they all people. The willow tree got excited to know that she was getting her memory back, but she was not, as she was connected to the body of her sister who was in coma using telepathy. The tree had no idea where her sister was, and he did not know if her soul also left her body, but the tree estimated that her soul did not show up, so she must be alive. Or there is a chance that their souls merged with each other after the death, and this is possible also because they both were twin sisters. And now their souls are merged together. Xiaoqing's soul was not completely stable yet, and he did not know if the essence of life have any effect on her now. The tree said the soul to hold still while he was giving the soul the essence of life. After taking the essence of life, the yellow light of the soul gleamed more brightly, and it grew a little bigger. The soul of the girl spoke after taking the essence that she can see something. The tree asked her that what she was seeing, and what she wanted to say. She replied that she cannot tell him, instead she can show him what she was saying. The tree was amazed to listen to her, but then he was extremely surprised when she took her in the village hospital, and yet he was not physically present there. He can see everything and listen everything. They saw a girl lying unconscious on the bed. The tree immediately recognized her, as she was showering her sister. The soul of the girl told the tree that she was in the consciousness of this girl, who was in coma while her own body is where she left it, but somehow her consciousness was moved here with this girl. The physical presence of the tree and the soul were in the jungle, but through telepathy they were able to see what was happening in the village hospital. The village head was apologizing to the old man about her granddaughter who was in coma, and the old man was weeping. The tree was thinking why all this happened to them, as they are innocent people, the soul and the tree both. Thinking that it was weird and surprising that they were able to see things using telepathy, the soul of the girl was shocked to know that she was able to control her sister's body. A boy standing there in the hospital room shouted when he saw Xiaoling's finger moving. The tree was worried about her, and he also shouted her name, wishing that she could somehow listen to him or his voice. He was asking the girl that could she listen to him. But she was not responding, and in the meantime the soul's telepathy power became weak, and soon they were in the jungle from where they started. The soul of the girl was continuously coughing and she seems weak. It looks like she consumed all her powers and this was her limit. He was really tired, but the tree was surprised. He continued talking to her, telling her that she can not only see and enter her body but also control her sister's body. The tree requested her if it could be possible anyhow, then would she live in her sister's body as Xiaoling, and continue living in this world. The tree and the soul were too busy talking that they had no idea what kind of danger was approaching them. They were unaware of it completely. It was raining heavily, and there were two men hiding and standing on the cliff watching the view of the canyon, as their target next was in this misty mountain. The two strange men was standing on the cliff in the heavy rain. They wanted to break into the mountains, but this heavy rain and thick fog was not making it easy for them. A man reported to his officer that there was a village nearby, they can spend their night there. The officer was fine with the decision of staying of the man. He said he was okay as the veterans have more experience in it. The officer, however, was observing the man standing beside him, as he knew that during the spiritual power awakening there are always some people who are uniquely endowed with the ability to adapt to spiritual energy beyond ordinary people, and once this kind of person complete the awakening they are given the title of a superhuman, and the man standing in front of him was a superhuman, Yan Gaoyuan, the legendary first generation. The man said to the officer they should go now towards the target location. Whereas inside the center of thick fog Xiaoqing was practicing her new skills. She was lifting a piece of loaf, and the tree was amazed to know that she has awakened her talent in few days, but generally it should have taken 10 days to half a month. Tree asked the girl had she heard or saw anything strange from that day, but the girl did not answer him as she was busy with practicing her skill. Watching her busy, he stopped himself to ask her what he wanted to ask. Instead, he considered a fact that Xiaoling and Xiaoqing were attacked by the wild beasts on the mountain and died as a result. The tree was worried about the fact that the villagers will definitely not let it go just like that. Nothing bad happened. With his current strength, he should be able to withstand a round of cannonballs. He was satisfying himself, saying that the villagers were only a bunch of normal humans and nothing more. But the tree did not want to expose his identity in the process. On his list of do's and don'ts, the war with humans was the last thing. He immediately ordered the system to spread the dense fog all around, as he will take the canyon as center and spread the fog outwards. He was sure that this much fog was enough to paralyze a city. The visibility range in the fog is less than 4 meters. The people who will try to invade the woods will crash before they can even hit the brakes. Is mutant level 2 dense fog can already cover such a big area, how scary it will be when it will evolve to level 3. Next he ordered his friends that they should get used to it as soon as possible because this dense fog is important for their survival. The tree advised his friends and companions about the truth of life, that after taking birth life keeps evolving all the time, so they should wait until they develop the ability to adapt to the dense fog, as this development will help them in their evolution. Thick fog combined with the hallucination's power to create a country of fog is no less than a dream for the willow tree. The tree was sure that in a short period of time this mountain will be their land of fog. In a moment it started raining heavily again, and the soul of the girl called the tree and told him that she sensed a very unusual spiritual force in the woods, and this news made the tree worried. She furthermore told him that a bunch of people came inside the fog and they are coming closer to them. The mutant spirit of the girl was able to feel the aura that was emitted from the superhuman who just entered the woods and started his journey towards them. On the other hand, the soldiers came from the military was stuck between the mountains because their vehicles were not able to move any further on the mountain because of heavy rain and poor roads. The officer commanded his troops to leave a few people to watch the cars and the rest to follow him into the village. He also added them to remember to bring those guys with them. The subordinates got confused and asked for reassurance that he really wanted to bring them, as those guys were not ordinary. The officer told them that it was very hard for the tanks and the armed vehicles to drive into the mountains like this. Those guys are their last line of defense against those mutated beasts. Inside their carriage there were small arm-piercing bullets specially made for the mutant beasts. The officer informed them about the presence of strange beasts with up to 10,000 spiritual powers in this place. He moreover said his men do not wait until they die to regret their laziness at that time. In the meanwhile, the superhuman assisting them happened to listen something strange. The officer asked him about what happened to him. Replied, he can hear people crying from the village ahead. The superhuman asked permission from the officer for going ahead to find out the way for him and also see what's going on. The officer permitted him to go, and told him that the soldier will be right behind him, so he should be careful. He replied saying yes, and in a moment he awakened his power of fire, and jumped on the rocks high above them, making his way ahead and leaving the troops of soldiers surprised. The troops were shocked to know that he was a superhuman. On the other side of the fog, that tree was telling his friends that although it was not very clear, but he did feel it through the thick fog. The people that came this time are unusual, and there are more than one of them. The willow tree was completely confused about what were they doing there. Or were they here for him or something else? The tree asked the soul of the girl that what was going on. Did the villagers invite someone to search the mountain? The mutant soul told him that she was still trying to control the body, but it was strange that her remaining soul fragments were merging with her. The tree was shocked to hear that and thought how it could be possible because Qing's body was pierced by the snake, and it is unexpectedly merging with Xiaoling's soul. The tree was not expecting that there still to be soul left in her body. The tree said the mutant soul to try merging again with her. But before the willow tree called Xiaoqing and asked her to eat the essence of life first, as he wanted her to do something for him. In the village hospital, the old man was crying and telling the superhuman about his granddaughter's condition, and asking him that is there any way to save her if possible.